Move that back, Uncle Sean.
Move the camera back, sir.
Just pull it back. That's the one. Dawam Gawar Ban Yahawda Ban Yashala. La Yashala. Imagine. Used to stand. Upal Yahakadam, turn to face the east. We're going to do the prayers in Hebrew. Start with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Daba'ah. Ratzaika. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemayim. Nathanawa. Lakam. Kab. Yawam. Wasalak now. Kabawath now. Kasalak now. Kabawathi now. Wala'ah. Dabiyai now. Manasai Wan. Above. Hawashai now. My run. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Wala'ah. It's like it. Wahala the Parath. La'awalamyam. Amen. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Amen. Blessings in Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai. Why Malak Allah. Why Alahayim. Matazabaya. Alwap Yahana. Ha Alwapyam. Hasaranyam. Hakwatazayanyam. Hakakayanyam. Wahakwathim. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahushai. The water. Amen. In English, bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. And the angels. Commanded Jurihana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. And then Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. I caught the power in Hebrew. Yahweh. Ba'ashem. Yahweh Shai. Baba Kusha. The Thundernow. Hakat. Lao Para'ah. Ka Marawa. Hakat. Atahar. Hamatzazarayim. Hakat. Lahakim. Hamathiim. Hakat. Awakarawa. Atama'ala. Lagarashun. Bahashem. Yahushua. The water. Amen. In English. Yahweh. The name Yahushua. Please give us the power. Power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. Power to cleanse the lepers. Power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah. Ayanya. Ahahayam. Ma'ayam. Yaba'ah. Isaiah. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Ra'arataza. Ayathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Ayanawam. Shamarka. Hana'ah. La'ah. Yanawam. Wala'ah. Yayashan. Shawamar. Yasha'ala. Yahweh. Shamarka. Yahweh. Tazalka. Al-Yad. Yamyanka. Yawamam. Hashamash. La'ah. Yakaka. Wayarak. Balaya. Yahweh. Yashamarka. Makarai. Yashamar. Astupatka. Yahweh. Yashamar. Taza'aka. Waba'aka. Ma'aitha'ah. Wa'adalam. In the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forth. And even evermore. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Allah Hayam. Allah Dama Slakia. Allah Al Dama Laka. Al Takagarash. Wa Al Tashakwat. Al Kayahana. Awaya Bayaka. Yahamaya. Yawan. Ra'ash. Al Amaka. Ya'ara Yamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Ya'itazawa. Al. Tazapana wa slugget. Tazapa wanyaka. Amarwa. Lakawa. Wana Akium. Magawa slugget. Magalia. Wala'a. Zakar. Slugget. Yazakar. Sham Yasha'ala. Iwada. Kaya. Na'atazwa. Laba. Yakadwa. Ayaka. Baryath. Yakarathwa. Ahaya. Slugget. Ahalya. Adawam. Wa. Yashamai. Allah. Yam. Mawa'aba. Wahaga. Slugget. Wahaga Yam. Gabal. Wa'amawan. Wa'amalat. Halashath. Am Yashabia. Tazawar. Gam Ashawar. Nalawa. Imam. Hayawa. Za'arwai. Labanya Lawats. Salah. Aisha Laham. Kamadyan. Kasaya. Sa'ara. Kayabyan. Banakal, Yashawan, Nashamadwa, Baya Daira, Hayawa, Daman, La Amada, Shayathamwa, Nada, Yab, Mawa, Ka'arab, Wakaza Wakazabak, Wakatazal, Mana'ai, Cow, Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Nayarasha, Lanawa, Ath, Na'awath, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayathamwa, Kagalka, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rawaka, Ka'ash, Daba'ira, Ya'ira, Wa, Kalahaba, Dalahat, Harayam, Khan, Daradatma, Basa'irika, Rabasa, Rapathka, Dabahalam, Malah, Panaham, Kwalawan, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yashabya, Waya, Bahalawa, Aida'ai, Waya, Kaparwa, Waya, Abadwa, Waya, Da'awa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Al-Yawan, Al-Kazaha, Al-Kaha'a, Al-Rataza. In English, keep not thy silence, O God.
Keep not thy silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
Be not still.
Be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo, thy enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabel, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asher also is joined with them. They have opened the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kishon, which perished at Endor. They become as dung for the earth. Make their nose like Oreb, and like Ze'ed. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah, and as Zalmunna, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession. O my God, make them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempests, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, who name alone, is Yahweh, art the Most High over all the earth. Saul, Yeshabia, you may be seated. Shalom. Akim, Aquas, you know what I'm saying? This is the Sabbath service. All right, we got unleavened bread, some juices over there though, so make sure y'all grab something to eat, of course, though. It's the Sabbath service. You can wait. All right, so we are reading from 2 Kings. 2 Kings, Slovakia. Okay, sir. Yeah. Put some up there. Yeah, that's it. Got it. Got the honey on that. We got some cinnamon on that over there too. Second Kings chapter 9. 2 Kings chapter 9. We're starting at verse 34. If I'm correct. Y'all remember, you know what I'm saying, the last time, you know, the brother was coming up. This is after Hazah. Hazah, you know what I'm saying, had been put to death. He fled. All right, he fled. He was put to death, left his body, you know what I'm saying, to be as dung for the earth. All right. And if I'm correct, this is where Jezebel, you know, she had spoken ill. She had spoken ill, of course, though. And she dropped down and fell to her death. So like I said, again,
So like you, sir, 2 Kings chapter 9, verse what?
starting at verse 34.
Verse
34. So we're going to start in Hebrew, all right? We're going to start in Hebrew, and then we're going to go ahead and continue in English. All right. Six. All right. Wayaba. Waya call. Waya shath. Wayamar. Power the wa. Na'a. Ah. Ha'ara. Roro. Ha. Haza ath. Wakwaba. Rawaha. Kaya. Bath. Malak. Haya'ah. Verse 35. Waya lakawa. Lakwaba raha. Wala a mataza wa. Baha. Kaya. Am. Hagala Galath. It's like a Galath. Wahara Gala Yum. Wakapa Wath. Haya the Yum. It's like it. Haya the Yum. Verse 36. Wayasha Bawa. Wayaga Yadawa. Lawa. Waya it's like it. Wayamar. Debar. Yahweh. Hawa Ashar. Debar. Bayad. Ibadawa. Allah Yahweh. Hatha Shabbat. It's like it. Hatha Shabya. La Amar. Bakalak. Yatara Ila. Yaakalawa. Haka Labayam. Ath. Bashar. Ayat, it's like Ayaz Baal, verse 37. Waha Yath, Waha Yathaha, Nabalah, it's like Nabalath, Ayaz Bala, Kada Man, Al, Panaya, Hashadaha, Bakala, it's like Bakalak, Yazara I Allah, Shah, La'a, Ya Amarwa, Za'ath, Ayazabal, chapter 10, verse 1. Wael Akab, Sheba Ayam, Banayam, Bashama Rawan, Wayaba Thab, Yahweh Ha, it's like it with Yahweh Ah, Saparayam, Saparium, Waya Shalak, Waya Shalak, Shamara Wan, Al, Sharaya, Yazara, I Allah, Hazakwa Nayam, Wa'al, Ha'ama Nayam, Akab, La Amar, verse 2. Wa'aitha Ha, Kaba'a, Hasapar, Hazaha, Ala Yakam, Wayatha Kam, Banaya, Adana Yakam, Wa'atha Kam, Harakab, Wasayam, Wa'ai Yara, Mabatazar, Wahana Shakwa, verse 3. Rara Yatham, Hapata Wab, Wahaya Shar, Mabana Wa, Mabadan Ya, Adana Kam, Washama Thumb, Kasa'a, Abayawa, Wahala Kamawa, Bayath, Adana Yakam. All right, that's 2 Kings chapter 9, verse 34 through 10 and verse 3. All right. So this is after the time period in which that Jehu had come up, of course, though, Jehu was coming up, and who was it? Jezreel, right? It's like Jezebel heard of it, and she painted her face, and of course, you know, she's trying to look all pretty and cute, whatever, I guess, to attempt to seduce him, you know, let her voice be heard over, you know what I'm saying, Jehu, and she messed around and she fell to her death, man. She fell, you know what I'm saying, out of that tower. The horse trampled over her, you know what I'm saying, and this is where we're picking up at it right now. Verse 34. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, Go, see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull and feet and the palms of her hands. Wherefore they came again and told him, and he said, This is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah the Tishbite, saying, In the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel. And the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field, in the portion of Jezreel. So they shall not say, This is Jezebel. Verse 10, or chapter 10, verse 1. And Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria, and Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, to the elders and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, Now this is the letter cometh to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, and there are with you chariots and horses, a fenced city also, and armor. Look even out the best and the meanest of your young master's sons, and set him on your father's throne, and fight for your master's house. All right. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you know what I'm saying, what we should, you know, realize, you know, is that no matter what we do, no matter how we go about it, of course, though, the Most High is going to have his way. All right, he's going to have his way. Now, we're going to break this down. You know, it's the 7 verses. We read it in Hebrew. We read it in English, of course, though. Now we're going to go precept upon precept, you know, line upon line, you know, as we should. All right. Hey, Shalom, Sawab, I see you. Most High in Christ. Just check and see here. But yeah, you know, for those of us that's here in the class, I'm saying, make sure, you know, y'all get some of the bread, of course, though. You know, got the juices over there as well. All right. All right. So, starting at the beginning of this, of course, though, 2 Kings chapter 9, verse 34. And when he was come in, he did eat and drink, and said, Go see now this cursed woman. This is Jehu that it's referring to. This is Jehu that's talking about. Jehu was on his way, I'm saying, you know, he was on his way to Jezreel, right? He was on his way to Jezreel, and of course, you know, this woman tried to, you know, halt that journey and turn the people against him as best as she could, man. She made the claims as like, oh, didn't you slay the masters, or, you know, who's gonna get? What did she say? She said something along the lines of, did he come in peace? Now listen, they was being wicked. They was doing all sorts of unlawful things, of course, though, which the Most High told us not to do, right? They weren't keeping the laws. They weren't keeping the Sabbath.
they had started to follow after, you know what I'm saying, those that were there prior to. And what were they doing? Were they keeping the Sabbath, right? Were they following the laws of the Most High? I think not. I think they were actually out here being wicked, of course, though. And guess what? For that, they were punished. You understand? And Jehu was just like, man, I'm not going to sit by and just kind of like just continue to watch this nonsense go by. Jehu went and did what he was supposed to. He was on a mission, a man of war. Like here in Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge, man, you have men that are on war. We have a job. We have a duty. What is that? Can anybody tell me what the job and duty of the Israelite School Universal Practical Knowledge?
Sorry.
1 second, man. I see you. Just want to check and see if anybody online, you know. So what? You still down in Florida, man? Good night.
You still in Florida?
So while I'm waiting for the Passover to keep going. No sweat. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Would it, sir? Would it be like righteous spiritual warfare and righteous carnal warfare, sir?
So like, say that one more time.
Would it be both righteous spiritual warfare and righteous carnal warfare, sir? Because right now we have spiritual warfare as of right now.
Okay.
Until our King returns.
Right. Until Yahushua returns. Yeah.
Kind of a concert, and then I'm gonna just say this in my own words, sir. Once Yahushua, our King, give us that green light, then we go into righteous carnal warfare, so that we put the other nations in a place in righteousness, sir, according to the Lord, sir.
Good. I mean, there's definitely going to come a time, you know, saying where, you know, the nations will definitely bow, of course, though. You know, the purpose that we have, of course, you know, it is to definitely, you know, bring our people back to the law, statutes, commandments, man. Like, for far too long, you know what I'm saying, we have not been keeping the laws of the Most High, man. Like, we have people that's out here celebrating after, what is it called? We got people that's out here celebrating Easter, man. What are we doing out here celebrating Easter, man? We shouldn't be out here celebrating Easter, right? I was speaking to a sister just the other day, though, and she said that, you know, they follow the Bible. And I asked her, I was like, is that just the New Testament? She said, nah. We follow the Old and the New. So then I asked her, I said, did you follow Passover? No, we're strict. Can anybody tell me the problem with that? They're strict, but they don't keep Passover. They celebrated Easter, but they didn't keep Passover.
Not the Christians, sir.
Right.
The Lord's Passover is the most important day of the year, sir.
That's the problem when it comes down to religion. Because they will talk about and make reference to, you know, the law of Moses. They will talk about and make reference. What it doesn't say in Leviticus. Leviticus 23rd chapter, right? It tells us, you know what I'm saying, to keep the high holy days. It tells us, you know what I'm saying, to keep, you know, the feast of unleavened bread. We are to remember the low state that we were in once before. We should always remember that. We shouldn't get so high and mighty and forget, like, the Lord, you know, man, He put us in our place. We should never forget that. We should never forget, you know what I'm saying, that the Most High deliver us, you know what I'm saying, from a nation that sought to just control our every moment, our every action. We shouldn't forget that. We should remember it. So now, you know what I'm saying, as we come here into 2020, of course, though, we come into 2020, but we come into 2022, whatever, and you got people that's trying to join the service that's getting ready to go out here and battle and fight and everything else though in Esau's army? For what? Like, what sense does it make? We did the same thing in the past. And that same army came, you know what I'm saying, to destroy us. So now we join the armies today. And what's happening? Black Lives Matter's out there protesting, right? You got all these people out here protesting, and guess what? You are now being told to go after your own brothers and sisters, man. The National Guard, you know what I'm saying, the reserves are being called in place to what? To stop the rioting. To stop, you know what I'm saying, the destruction of property and everything else stuff. To bring back what? Law and order. That's what they're being told to do. Well, how many articles did we just go over? What is it? The 7-year-old found dead in the pool. The 13-year-old that got shot in the leg. The 10-year-old. These are babes. The precept that I was bringing up, you know what I'm saying, yesterday was breaking down, how they shall not regard the old nor show favor to the young. I just said 7, 10, 13. These are children. These are babes who are growing up, who is to be the future of Israel. Remember, you know what I'm saying, that, those that mock the prophets, you know what I'm saying, those children that mock the prophet, you know what I'm saying, was, utterly destroyed, by the, the bears in the forest, in the wilderness. We should teach them correctly. So that, guess what? Our children aren't being, put to slaughter again. And it's still happening, though. So here it is, you know what I'm saying, was it Jezebel? Jezebel, who's speaking ill of the prophet. Jezebel, who's speaking ill of Jehu, who's about this work of the Most High right now. She fell to her death. And Jehu just kept moving. You know what I'm saying? Got the horses, just kept it moving. And trod right over that body. You understand? Got off, went inside, and as we right now. So he ate and drank. He did eat and drink. It wasn't, oh man, I'm dismayed by, who the hell cares? Who the hell cares? Shalom, Lord be with you. Maybe the Most High have mercy on you. But at the end of the day, I got a job to do. And if you stand in my way, I'm going to trot right over you. And then I'm going to sit down, eat, and drink, and pay no mind. Of course, where he did here, he said, somebody go see about that body. I mean, after all, she is the daughter of the king. Give it a burial. You understand? That's what it said. Go, see now this cursed woman, and bury her, for she is a king's daughter. 35. And they went to bury her, but they found no more of her than the skull. What did we just read in Psalms 83? That they become as dung for the earth? She just became dung for the earth. Why? Why is it, can anybody tell me how is it that she become dung for the earth? Does anybody know that answer? Anybody want to take a stab at it?
I would say because she became one with the earth again. A great portion of her body was integrated into the earth.
Okay.
Sir, I was going to say first and foremost, she was just being wicked according to the Lord. So the Lord made example out of her. Sir.
All right. Let me see if anybody else online. All right.
Cause sir, dung is like pretty much manure. Manure. That's what it is.
Give me more about it.
Waste. You know, like it could be, because when they call it, because you know, you probably heard of like alligator dung or a dung beetle. You know, it's waste. Right. And by her wickedness, though, the Lord made example out of her.
I mean, we don't even gotta get to the wickedness aspect of it. We're just saying that she spoke out against, you know what I'm saying, men that were doing the work for the Most High.
Coddle cop, sir.
So, you know, she turned her face and she set her face against the Most High. You understand? It's like one of those things where it's just like when you go and you lie to prophets, don't think that you lying to Thou Woman Bar. Don't think you lying to Captain Azaniah or General Hyman or General Mayak or Commander General Yohana. Don't think that it's us that you're lying to. It's the Most High. You understand?
Coddle cop.
And that's what happened in this particular instance, though. She was speaking against the Most High. And yeah, she was made an example. What I was looking more specifically is, you know, she was eaten up by the dogs. She was eaten up by the animals, right? And they're going to digest her. And what happens?
She becomes that dog from being
What
consumed
happened?
and eaten by the animals. Sorry.
Right. So what are they going to do? They're going to what?
They're going to eat her, devour her.
So just raise your hand up.
It's like,
Go ahead.
the animals are going to eat her, devour her, and digest her, sir, and then trying to say it in a more proper way.
Just say it. You got the precept right here.
Would it be 37, sir? 2 Kings.
We didn't get that far.
Okay, so like
It's like, did we get that far? Nah, we didn't get that far. I don't believe we got that far. Nah, we didn't get that far. We're only at 35. Go ahead, sis.
She will become fertilizer for the earth.
Exactly. She become dung, fertilizer. You know what I'm saying? That manure or whatever. Is that? She's going to replenish the earth. Her body, you know what I'm saying, is now spread out wherever, you know what I'm saying, these animals go and poop her out. Is that? She became dung for the earth. Like, that's what Psalms 83 said, that they become what? As dung for the earth. In this precept right here, when they said, verse 35, it says, and they went to bury her, but they found no more of her. Well, where the hell did she go? Maybe she didn't die. Maybe she was, you know, of a concussion, right? But then he said, they found no more of her than the skull. So where did the body go? You understand? The animals came and they ate her. They ate, you know what I'm saying, and ripped her apart. And it says right here, they said the skull and the feet and the palms of her hand. So all you saw out there, it might have been like a little arm right here, you know, a little hand over here, and their feet. That's it. Her skull, the rest of it, gone. That's what it says right here in verse 35. Go ahead. So.
When you said that, where is her body? The dogs ate her body.
Right.
And her skin off.
Right.
Then there was no part of her left to move or do anything.
You absolutely right. So that just shows you the power and the might of the Most High. Why? What did anybody touch her? Did it say that she was pushed from the window?
no.
I didn't say she was pushed from the window. It just said that she fell. She had her face forward, you know what I'm saying, against the Most High. Well, what about, didn't he come in peace? And sure enough, she fell to the earth. Or Salaki, did they toss? I think they tossed her out. Salaki, hold on. I think they did toss her out. He said flood is. Oh, come, Salaki, verse 33. It said they tossed her out. It said, verse 32 said, and he lifted his face to the window and said, who is on my side? Who? And there looked out to him 2 or 3 eunuchs. And he said, throw her down.
God.
So they threw her down, and some of her blood was sprinkled on the wall. So she was cast down. Why? Because she was still speaking ill of, you know what I'm saying? Those eunuchs didn't have to do what he said, but they knew who he was. They knew the power, you know what I'm saying, of the God of Israel. Everybody else wasn't following the laws. They wasn't keeping the laws. So she was tossed to the ground, and then she died. And they trampled over her, and the animals came and did their part. They got their blessing. They got their reward, perhaps. Let's keep reading. And the feet and the palms of her hand. Verse 36. Wherefore they came again and told him. And he said, this is the word of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Elijah, the Tishbite, saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel. Elijah, you know what I'm saying, had said that this is going to happen. Elijah said this, right? These are the words of Elijah, the Tishbite. This wasn't just, you know, some random person. We know the power, you know what I'm saying, Elijah had. I mean, this wasn't even Elisha. This was Elijah. You understand? This was Elijah who said that. Elijah's been off the scene for some time, hasn't he? At this point, he had been off the scene for a little while. So just as, you know, the remnants of her body, you know, all that was left was just hands, toes, and head. The rest of the body was gone. When you look at these kingdoms that have been set up and established, these businesses that are out here, right, doing whatever the hell that they are doing, of course, stuff. You think that they're going to remain? You think that they're going to last? I don't know. Where's the Roman Empire today?
Doesn't exist no more, sir.
All right. What about the Greek?
Sir, it doesn't exist.
All right. What about Babylon?
Sir, the Babylon Empire was destroyed a long time ago.
What about the Persians and the Medes?
The Persian Empire was destroyed.
All right. So all these empires that were great, you know what I'm saying, upon the face of the earth, where are they today? All we see is remnants, right? All we see is, you know, we'll see the eagle, right? Like, we see remnants of those empires that were here in the past. They're not here today, though. They're only a portion, of course. They have been destroyed and scattered about. What the hell you think is going to happen to the empire that is still here now? You think that's going to last?
Sir, the Lord is going to destroy the United States of America. Sir.
Yeah.
He's going to destroy it.
And it's not going to be, you know, that we have to lift our hands up to do it. All we have to do is just keep the laws, statute, commandments of Most High. That's all we have to do. That's all we're required to do. Be brotherly towards one another. Show sisterhood towards one another. That's a lot. That's our job. That's our responsibility. All right? So, it said, the Tishbite saying, in the portion of Jezreel shall dogs eat the flesh of Jezebel. Well, they just had to do a few things prior to. Those few things prior to was to what? Jehu to show up. And Jehu to clean house. Jehu started to clean house. You understand? And with him cleaning house, Off with her head. Jezebel, gone. Verse 37. And the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field, and the portion of Jezreel. There you go. They ate the body. They ate her flesh. And of course, those animals are going to go out and do what they do. They're going to do their job. So those of you who out there that be given the, oh, well, the animals, come on now. You understand? They have a job to do, of course, though. We all have a job to do. We all have a role to play. And the job that we have is to keep these laws, statutes, commandments and teach, you know what I'm saying, the other generations how to do the same thing. And to cast out anybody, you know what I'm saying, who would go up against it. It's not for us, you know what I'm saying, to, oh, well, you know, it's okay. No, it's not okay. It's not okay, you know what I'm saying, for us to allow wickedness to rise up in the kingdom. It's not okay, you know what I'm saying, for us to let pedophiles, you know what I'm saying, to, you know, be in the kingdom. That's not okay. That's not acceptable. You understand? We have to make sure that we tear down any remnant of those, you know what I'm saying, who speak out against the Most High. The same thing, you know what I'm saying, as what happened to Jezebel. Yeah, she's the daughter of the king. Go bury her, you know what I'm saying, wherever she's supposed to be buried. Because her father was the king. But we won't, you know what I'm saying, yeah, she'll be put to death too. You understand? So what's that? What was that thing we saw just recently? Obama's daughter, you know what I'm saying, with some rapper? With a famous rapper, right? Barack Obama's daughter is with a famous rapper. But she's a heathen. You think, you know what I'm saying, that she won't? Look what happened to the Clintons. What was it, Chelsea Clinton? Chelsea Clinton was out here doing all sorts of crazy nonsense. That'll continue to happen to everybody else that goes up. What is it? Joe Biden has 2 little girls, right?
Sir, didn't George Bush have daughters? I thought it was George Bush.
Well, listen, I don't care less. But they got children nonetheless, right?
Gotcha.
And with that comes certain privileges, right? The service protecting them and whatever else. That's what happens, right? But the Most High, He'll make it so that their particular institution that they attend catches fire. Or a tornado will come and completely destroy the building. Or earthquake will open up and just those little ones will fall into it. Ain't that something? I mean, they will speak out against us and they'll just have to pay whatever consequence comes along with it. Or they can say, Salakia, thou won't. Verse 37. And as the carcass of Jezebel shall be as dung upon the face of the field, and the portion of Jezreel, so that they shall not say, this is Jezebel. She's not going to be anybody. Nope, this is her body. Nah. You know how they do the tombstones and everything else, though? This is just, here lies Jezebel. They're not going to be able to do that. There's going to be there's not going to be enough of her to be like, yeah, that's Jezebel over there. No. They won't be able to do that. What it's like, if I could, what do they do with the remains, you know what I'm saying, of soldiers, you know, who died when they can find the bodies?
Sir, I think I always thought like the worst thing they do is just like cremate it, or
for the bodies that they could find, right?
Kind of, sir.
What do they do for the bodies that they can't find?
If I recall, sir, usually they have like the weapon and the Kevlar, just the Kevlar and the weapon remaining. You don't see the corpse or nothing.
Right. they'll put something that symbolizes, say, here lies Sergeant John Smith or whoever, right?
Kind of a concert, yup. It's the rifle and the Kevlar, sir. Yup.
But they're saying that she won't even get that. There won't be any portion left to say, here lies Jezebel, daughter of King. There won't be that. There'll be nothing left. Chapter 10, verse 1. And Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria, and Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children. So Jehu, right? What would you say? It's a hostile takeover? Jehu was on a mission. And Jehu recognized and reverenced what? The children of King Ahab. Did he not? So here he is. He's writing a letter. He's writing a letter to all the what?
Would it be Samaria, sir?
Not to. They were in Samaria. But it's not the Samaritans that he's writing to. Who's he writing to?
Oh, sorry, it would be the rulers of Jezreel.
Right? And why is he writing to them, though?
Sorry, would it be because of the aftermath of what happened to Jezebel, sir? From the last chapter.
Was Jezebel the only person that was put to death?
No, sir.
So what happened?
Any, sir, I would it be like during that time anybody that was speaking against the Lord, even around with Jezebel?
So who was in charge of Judah at that time? Who was the king over Judah?
Oh, during this time period, sir? Oh, King, would it be King David, sir?
Wow. It was Ahaziah, right? He was the king of Judah. And when he saw Jehu, he fled. He attempted to flee. And they threw that spear and they struck him down in the chariot. Remember that? He was the king. So now what? What just happened? The king is dead. What must happen?
Someone must be punished.
Someone must be punished?
You said the king. King's dead.
What's going to happen when the queen dies or she abdicates the throne?
Someone new must take her place.
Okay. And who's currently in line for that right now? Does anybody know? Does anybody know who's currently in line after Queen dies or she abdicates the throne? Prince Charles, right? Prince Charles is next in line. Her eldest son, right?
Gotcha.
There's a list. There's a list for the throne, for the successorship. The queen is, how old is she? Or is that her grandson? Slovakia. Get this little advertisement out of here. Prince Charles. Prince Charles is the eldest son since 1948. And he is named after the death of his mother. However, what is happening? She refuses to die, doesn't she?
Sir.
She refuses to die. She refuses to give up the throne. How old is Queen Elizabeth? She's 96, is she? She is 96. Queen Elizabeth is 96, and she is not trying to give up that throne. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir. A lot of those Edomites in Europe or anywhere that's ruling on the earth refuse to go at their position, period. And we know they're wicked. So.
Right, but what happened back in, was it 2015 or something like that? I think it was 2015. They passed something that gave everybody equal rights to the throne, all the sons, right? They all have equal rights. What's up?
Do you know the guy with the flower in his thing? He looks something like a person in the movie Hero.
Okay. All right.
He looks something like the kid Hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
No sweat. There was something that was passed that gave the equal opportunity, more or less, to all the sons equally. So as of right now, even though Prince Charles is first in line to the throne, who knows? He might not get it. What we have here in the scriptures right now is that Ahab, who had 70 sons, Ahab had 70 sons. What's one of the things that happens, that has been known to happen, to royal bloodline? What was one of the things that would happen?
Siblings killing each other to make sure that they're the next ones up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Sir, I would say, like, usually, like, traditionally, though, if siblings didn't kill each other, though, whoever dies, whoever's the oldest takes the next place of position, the older sibling.
Okay.
Usually.
Right. What else is something else that would happen, though? Something that happens right now in Haiti. It's big in Haiti. You travel there, of course, though. You from, not Haiti, but you traveling to Haiti. What's one of the things that's been known to happen? It's big in the early 90s. No?
But it do refers to, like, who
Raise your hand up.
Sorry. Like. But it do refers to, like, who wants to take over next in the throne, sir.
Nope, not that. God. Yeah, so, all right. Ransom. Rush hour. People will be taken as ransom, right? They would take the children, of course. The king had 70 sons, of course. So some people may try to what? Kidnap the sons. The king is dead. Oh, snaps. I know where the son is. Ransom. Abdicate the throne. Pay me. Whatever. They will use it as leverage. Here it is, you know what I'm saying? Jehu is sending a letter. He sent letters. It says, and Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, too. Now, as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your master's sons are with you. Who's the masters? Does anybody know? Who are we reading about?
Queen Elizabeth.
In the scripture.
Jehu.
Not Jehu. He's writing the letters. Who did he refer to?
Jezreel, sir.
Jezreel is the location.
The queen.
Not the queen. In the scriptures.
The children that will be the next successors.
Right, but who is he referring to, though? Who's the masters? Because this all was referencing this entire, if we go back to the early portion of chapter 9, it mentioned what the rulers were doing and who they were following after. And here we are now, coming back to that same thing. I'll read it from the top. 2 Kings chapter 10, verse 1. And Ahab had 70 sons in Samaria. And Jehu wrote letters and sent to Samaria unto the rulers of Jezreel, to the elders, and to them that brought up Ahab's children, saying, now as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your masters, that's possessive, that's singular, sons are with you. Who's the masters?
Sir, would it be Ahab?
Osiah Christ. Why?
Because it refers to him and the children, sir. That's from the other verse, sir.
Okay. So, what about the children? Think about it like this, right? Think about it as today, modern day. All right? I have 20 children. I have 20 children, of course, though. I die. Everything that I have, then what happens? What happens in that process?
It belongs to the kids now.
Okay.
Then once they die, it belongs to their kids if they have kids.
Okay.
Belongs to the oldest.
Goes to the eldest. Anybody else?
Sorry, I had the same answer as the brother next to me. Pretty much.
Okay. Anybody else want to take a stab at it? Have you ever heard of anything called probate? court. Probate court. Okay. What about a will? What's a will? Does anybody know what a will is?
No.
Go ahead.
Like a car wheel?
Say that again?
A car wheel?
It's an official document that the individual basically puts on paper where he wants his goods or property to go to, designates it.
It is the final wishes, essentially, of the individual. In this particular case, King Ahab is dead. He's gone. But his children and his throne is still there, right? His children are spread out in Jezreel, somewhere in Jezreel. So Jehu does what? Because they are the children of Ahab. So that means what in this particular case? Because now Ahazi is dead. Ahazi has been put to death. So what has to happen? A new ruler, a new king has to be appointed. Right? So Jehu, who is doing this work, is cleaning up, you know what I'm saying, society. He's cleaning up the kingdom. He's checking, yo, toss her from the ceiling, toss him from the window. She gotta go. She cannot remain. She'll be buried, as she should. Oh, I guess not. Elijah said that, though. But we knew that was going to happen. Here we are now. Jehu is saying, now as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, you're going to get a letter. You're going to have a set of instructions. What does it say? And there are with you chariots and horses, a fenced city also, and armor. Look even out the best and the meanest of your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne, and fight for your master's house. Can anybody put that all together? What is happening right now? What is Jehu telling them to do?
So would it be defending their master's house? Defending.
I mean, we could. I can't fully accept that, but it's kind of in line with it. There's more to it. So here, okay, right? This seat that I'm sitting in, I get up, I leave, I go. What must happen?
Sir, someone else that's responsible and accountable must take charge.
Come. Jehu, who knows that Ahab has 70 sons, does what? Got it? No?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead. You want to take a shot? Go ahead. I mean, the Sabbath class. The Sabbath class. Hold your peace for a second. The Sabbath class is for us to learn. You know what I'm saying? There's no shame, you know. Salaki, sir, I don't know. Salaki, you're taking a shot at it. You understand?
God.
Like that's the point. You know, like we've taken shots at so many other things outside this truth, and we have utterly failed every single time. Right? So now you're here in the class to learn how to do it the right way.
Okay.
How to do it the correct way. I almost gave you the answer. Go ahead.
Salakia, I was kind of what you just said a minute ago. I was kind of piggyback to what we said before, though. Like by Jehu having that many sons, it really doesn't.
Not Jehu.
Oh,
Ahab.
Salakia. By Ahab having that many sons, it really doesn't always mean that the oldest person gets to be in position next. So usually, sometimes it could be the middle person that's the most responsible and most accountable person can take place instead of always the eldest person. Because sometimes.
Right. So bring it back to the precept. Bring it back to the letter that Jehu wrote. Jehu wrote a letter specifically saying these words. Verse 2. Now as soon as this letter cometh to you, seeing your master's sons are with you, and there are with you chariots and horses, a fenced city also, and armor. You just tell them, look, you got a fenced city, you got chariots, you got armor, of course. You have the master's children, those that are supposed to rule next, potentially. And then verse 3 says, look even out the best and the neatest. Look at them all. Consider them all. Of the master's sons, your master's sons, and set him on his father's throne. Whoever, you know what I'm saying, let him stand for the throne of his father, King Ahab. Put him out there. What is Jehu doing?
Sir, so once again, out of all the sons, Jehu's gonna find out which son would be the most responsible, accountable one to take charge. Whether it's the oldest, the youngest, or in the middle. He's gonna find out which son's gonna be is the most responsible and the most accountable and the person to take charge of that throne, sir.
Yeah, no sweat. Anybody else? What Jehu is doing in this particular instance, it's like the so-called Jewish man who's in Israel right now. The commander now says, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. The king is dead. Y'all figure out amongst yourselves who is going to take the throne. Y'all figure out amongst yourselves. And let that person fight on behalf of the throne. Let that individual stand for you. It doesn't have to be him. It doesn't have to be him. It doesn't have to be you. It could be anyone. But there are 70 candidates. But only one will stand for you. So you decide amongst yourselves who that will be. Who will be your champion? Who will be your representative? It's almost like King David, right? And Samson, not Samson, what's his name? Goliath. King young David and Goliath. Listen, we don't need all the bloodshed. You want to have your champion? You want to have your champion? Go fight one another. David and Goliath came out and they fought. And one came out, you know what I'm saying, as the champion. That's it. So in this particular case, Jehu's saying the same thing. One of you fight for your master's house. You choose, you decide. You raised them up. You taught them, you trained them. So you show them either the art of war, or you show them the art of politics, or you show them, you know what I'm saying, how to be a coward. You understand? That's what you taught them.
Okay.
The same way, you know what I'm saying, as here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we raise up men and warriors who will stand and fight if that is what they are told to do. That's the order given. Go take over this area. Go take over that zone. That's your job. That's your responsibility. You get orders and you follow orders, but you get trained on how to do that as well too. You understand? So Jehu is doing the same thing. Well, y'all do what y'all got to do. And we'll settle this, you know what I'm saying, a one-on-one bout. All right? I ain't going to get into the details. You know what I'm saying? There's more to the story, you know what I'm saying, that we'll pick up next week, though. We'll pick up more of this next week, you know, in the Sabbath, though. But for that, this is where it comes to like that stop. Yo, outside of here, you know what I'm saying, you have all sorts of division among Christianity. Right? Who's the righteous leader for the Christians? Right? There's only but one leader for Israel. Commander General Hana is in charge of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. And everybody's ordered, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's ordered to come together under that one body, that one umbrella. It didn't say go over here and you have your Israelites of the West Coast and your Israelites of the Saturday. You know what I'm saying? It said it is the one body, just like Yahushua said. Look what happened to John the Baptist. Off with his head, huh? John the Baptist was put to death. Why? Because he did not fall in line. He did not follow orders. And more importantly, the Most High was not with him. In this particular instance, even today, there are all sorts of wars and rumors of wars going on. You got politicians and all sorts of people that's coming up against us. Our job is to rule righteously and teach the children to do the same thing. You understand?
Sir, Salakia, though, not going off topic, though, I'm kind of want to piggyback what you kind of said, though. So that's why you saying, like, what you just said about John the Baptist is what you could, how you could simply cut those fake Israelite camps, though. What happened to John the Baptist is how the Lord judged them, because what John the Baptist did, right, sir?
Give it a little bit more clarity.
John the Baptist did not do what Christ specifically told him to do, and the Lord wasn't with that. So John the Baptist ended up getting put to death.
God, I mean, John the Baptist, you know what I'm saying, was supposed to fall in line, of course, though. But in this particular instance, though, you know what I'm saying, John the Baptist was on the scene before Yahushua came on. You understand? All these other camps that you see out here, you understand? All these other camps that you see, they came out. They left from the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. They went out to teach that Hamites can be a part of, you know what I'm saying, when the scripture tells us la'ah. They went out and said that, you know, you can have sex with, you know, little children. And the scripture says la'ah. That's not something that we teach here. We tell everybody to come together and join themselves to our camp, as they should. Fall in line and follow orders. That's what Jehu was saying. Y'all got 70 children. Y'all figure out, you know what I'm saying, who's going to be in charge. The rank, the order, the structure, and everything else, though. Let this one settle it for everybody. If y'all need to, fight amongst each other. However y'all want to do it. If y'all want them to fight to death till there's only one left, there you go. And then when this one dies, there is no more house of Ahab. You understand? Well, John the Baptist was out there before anybody else, before Yahushua. And when he did what he did, baptizing Yahushua, and you saw the light and everything else, he was supposed to fall in line and say, "Khan, sir, what do you need me to do, master? What are your orders?" That's what he was supposed to do. But he didn't. These fake camps, you know what I'm saying? They came and then they left. And then they started teaching their own. So you could use it, but there are a few other precepts that would be better, you know what I'm saying, to potentially use in parallel for that. Just because John the Baptist was already on the scene at that time before Yahushua even came along. He said that there are those, you know what I'm saying, whose shoes that are not worthy to fit. And he's talking about Yahushua, the coming of Yahushua. But in this particular case, you have these camps that were out here after and started teaching their own doctrine. Understand? So, any other questions? All right. With that concludes the Sabbath service. Salakia, if I could, Zion, if you could, on the board, just make sure that you write down 2 Kings chapter 10, starting at verse 4. We're going to be starting at verse 4 next week, all right? This afternoon, of course, though, we have the closing of Feast of Unleavened Bread, man. Understand? Make sure y'all make it to your camp. Make sure y'all make it to close out with your brethren, the Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right? 7 p.m. tonight. With that, imagine.
Pray your hakadam. Turn and face the east. Starting with the Lord's Prayer. Abanawa. Shabbat Shemaya. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwatka. Daba'ah. Zaika. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratiza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashemaya. Thunanawa. Akam. Ka. Yawam. Basalak now. Kabawath now. Kasalak now. Kabawath now. Wala'ah. Dabayai now. Manasai Wam. Kabal. Awashai now. Ayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Amalakwa. Wala'ala. Wataparwa. La'awalamyam. Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us our debts. Give our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. The blessings of the Hebrew. Rakta Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shah. Why Malaki Allah. Why Alahayim. Batazabaya. Alawap Yahana. Ha Alawapyam. Ha Saranyam. Ha Quatazayanyam. Ha Kakayanyam. Wa Quathium. Yahweh. Hashem. Yahweh Shah. The water. Amen. The blessings in English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai. And Michael. The angels. Command Juliana. The generals. The captains. The officers. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you. So be it. All right, we'll just finish off with the power, the cock. Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bakusha, the thunder now, the cop, La Parao, Kal Makala, Kal Madawa, the Tahar, Hamatzarayim, the cop, the Hapium, Mathium, the cop, Arakarath, Atama'ala, the Garashan. Ba'ashem.
Ba'ashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Duwada.
Tuwada.
Amen.
Amen.
In the English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Please give us the power.
Please give us power.
The power to heal.
Power to heal.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of sickness.
All manner of disease.
All manner of disease.
The power to cleanse the leopard.
Power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the
The
dead.
power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahushua.
In the name of Yahushua.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So be it.
So be it.
Saul. Yeshabia, may be seated. And of Israel. Imagine. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Barak. That's my time. Saul will create salute the sisters. Imagine. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine. Barak. Yahweh Shemar Alatham Hashem Yahushua. That's my time. Anybody wants to be anointed, please come stand up here. Baruch, starting with the men. Class dismissed. Make sure y'all get some of that refreshments. Of course. Let's get these chairs.